welcome to Colorado Mesa Esports. My name is Monochrome, and today we are watching a NACE qualifying game from Blinn College versus Colorado Mesa Gold. This is somewhat of an older game, but I hope enjoyable nonetheless. We have recently went against Blinn again in playoffs, so if you want to see how that goes, I believe the VOD will be up on our YouTube channel basically when this comes out. So I suggest watching this and then go watching that. Both are great games. If you don't know how NACE works, it's best of 5 and first to 3. So the winner of a coin flip gets to pick first map. I believe this was Blinn's pick on Ilios, and then from there, whoever loses the map gets subsequent pick. We do see Colorado Mesa is currently up overall with 3 wins, 1 loss, with Blinn College pretty close behind with 2 wins and 3 losses. So we'll see how that ends up going out. And we are opening up on our first fight here. We see Sasquatch on the Diva getting that Torbjorn her down very early along with the help of Ghost on Symmetra. Right now it is mostly just a fight for space. We don't see any picks quite yet. See Sasquatch getting on that high ground trying to get that Torbjorn off. Not quite succeeding, but the Venture is there to help him back up. Ghost manages to finish off the kill with the Torbjorn, and it will be first blood for this game. See Sasquatch backing out, going back to that high ground. Ghost does go down to the Reaper here, but it doesn't seem like he notices the Diva on high ground. Does use the Wraith to back out, but the Orisa going in, Sasquatch getting speared, having to again back off of it. Both teams, I believe, are basically full capacity right now. Possibly still waiting for Ghost to come back, not quite sure on that. We see Sasquatch trying to go up to go deal with that Life Weaver, but going to point to go help out his DPS and supports as they are trying to capture the point, which it already has been actually. Currently at 24% for Colorado Mesa. We see Sasquatch getting stuck on a wall, nearly going off the map with that spear, but not quite. Going to the fight now, managing to get the pick on the Reaper. Hadal Aurora getting the pick on the Life Weaver. Juno following soon after, and that is basically just picking off the rest of the team. Orisa does go off the map, and as a team kill for Colorado Mesa, right as they hit about 40% on the ult so far. The way how these control maps work, it is best of 3 first to 2. So we'll see if Colorado Mesa manages to win the next 2 maps, then that is the first point of Ilios going to them, or we might see it go to a tiebreaker round. We do see the nice fight breaking out as Colorado Mesa hits about 70% on the ult charge, or on the point capture, sorry. Right now, again, it's just holding space, make sure they don't take the high ground. This map is I think all of Ilios is very bad in terms of fishbowls, but we do see Hadal Aurora getting headshotted by the Cassidy there. A great shot from him. And Zarya managing to take out Order 16 on point. That will be one support going down. And we also see the Life Weaver tree going out. Sojourn using that tree as a sense of defense, but that doesn't matter. Sasquatch still managing to get a 3k with Diva ult. 2 of them dying to bomb, 1 getting squished by the remake, or the tree getting squished by remake, actually, not Life Weaver. But it doesn't seem to matter. Sasquatch still goes out of mech, does die there, but Hadal Aurora is there to follow up, using his ult to get 1, but does have to back out. It's just Juno on point though, which Ghost does manage to clear up pretty easily, allowing CMU to get the overtime capture, and that first round of Ilios will be going to them. So we're starting the next fight here, leading on to, I believe it's called Shrine. Some of the early fights going off. I might have some people in the background. We do have some of our Smash players here currently as I'm recording. Sasquatch does manage to get a very nice early 2 picks here. Zarya going down, Juno possibly following after, but that Sojourn is there to try to defend her and help out. And that will give Colorado Mesa the very early cap on point, letting them start leading in terms of the overall charge. We see the attempt of a push through the hallways here. Sasquatch having to back out, going down 66 health, but very scary. But both DPS are there to just get some damage out. There's a Sojourn trade and Juno trade, I believe, if I saw right. And we see the Symmetra TP onto the top of that high ground, pushing Ghost off of there. It's going to be a rough fight from there, leaving both supports on that height. Do see Sasquatch getting demeched here. That's going to be very unfortunate for Colorado Mesa to have to deal with. You know, losing a tank is such a big health pool, you don't have much else to deal with. And we do have the tree going on point, another ult that just gives so much health, so much healing. And we might be able to see Blinn College capping here as the Symmetra wall also goes out. Colorado Mesa losing plane control as they hit 70%. We are watching the next fight leading in here. Will be up to Colorado Mesa to recapture. We do see the Sojourn ult going out as well as Juno Ray. A lot of damage at once. We see that Zarya nearly getting 3 down. Does go down there, dying to that ult by Ghost. And 2 more kills with it. A very nice job. But we do see the Sojourn ult trade-off, managing to get Aurora and Ghost in the process. I'll just leave the supports and the Diva on point, but they do manage to recapture, letting them get to around 80 as we're leading into this next fight. We do also see, obviously, Bomb is up. He can drop that anytime. Probably now. Yep. We see the Zarya getting stuck in between, and it looks like Sasquatch. Okay, I was gonna see if he was trying to go for a squash. He's just gonna remake in the back line. Going after the Brigitte here as they are hitting overtime. Brigitte does go down, but the Zarya manages to get a kill on Order 16. However, both supports from Blinn are down, so we'll just be up to the DPS and the tank to try to hold here. We see the Symmetra wall going out as the Zarya dies. Symmetra also going down here. It's just up to the Sojourn, and it looks like she will also follow soon after. Possibly see a touch, not quite, and that will be the second map and of Ilios going to Colorado Mesa, giving them the victory. So we are opening up here on King's Row as our second map. This was Blinn College's pick. We see Sasquatch opening up on the hamster wall. Sneaking up on a, not quite seeing him. Does get the Zarya shield, which kind of shut down that attack a tiny bit, but doesn't quite manage to pick the Ana. Does here with the slam though, a very nice shot from him, but does look like he might go down here, taking a lot of damage. Colorado Mesa supports do manage to go in there and back him up. That Pharah trying to get the kill there, not quite managing. And we see him diving the Juno in the back line. If he manages to get that, that would be both supports from Blinn College going down, Order 16 getting the pick on the Zarya, Wolfie getting the pick on the Pharah on Baptiste. A great job from Colorado Mesa, and that will be that first fight going to CMU. We see Sasquatch bullying the Moira and Spawn. So we're now on the push section of the hybrid map of King's Row. Currently have around 5 minutes on the clock. That is a long time to get through alleyway, but obviously is also known for a very annoying chokehold. We do see the mines going out from Sasquatch as Hatal Aurora managing to get the pick on the May with a very nice mines there. Having to back out though due to low damage, or low HP, sorry, but Sasquatch in the backline managing to get both supports before having to back out due to low HP. Great job from him. Obviously ball is not something you see played too often. Hatal managing to stop that tire coming for him, and we lead into the next fight with the Junker Queen here. And Colorado Mesa is nearly fully pushed through alleyway at this point. We do see Orbital Ray going out, managing to pick off the Junker Queen and the Junkrat, both of the resident Junkertown people. We do, and that does allow Colorado Mesa to cap again with 5, if not 6, I can't quite see that number, I believe it's 5 minutes on the clock left, and a crazy amount of time to get through this pretty small section of the map. We do see the Orbital Ray coming out from Juno, Hatal Aurora having to back out due to low HP, that Sigma getting him very low does go down to the Moira in the end. Going back to the Sasquatch POV, him annoying the May and the Moira in the back line. Hatal Aurora is back up here, and we see the Baptiste window combined with the May freeze from Blinn, unfortunately shutting down Colorado Mesa's use of that window. Sasquatch having to back out due to the fact that basically all of his team was dead. And we do see here the Orbital Ray coming out from Colorado Mesa's side. Sasquatch managing to get pick on the May through that. Hatal Aurora shutting down that Junkrat tire before it's been too much of an issue, but we do see Sigma Flux go out, managing to catch, I believe, only one person there, which was Ghost. However, Wolfie does get the trade, getting a 2k on Baptiste, very impressive. Hatal Aurora does go down to that Junkrat, but Colorado Mesa is still in a very good position to push, and we see them profiting off of that, managing to get the pick on the Juno. And it looks like Sasquatch is just going to hold and spawn, hopefully getting his team the free capture here. We're very close to the end of the map. Does manage to win with 2 seconds and 30 minutes left on, or 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. It will be bringing us to Colorado Mesa's defense. We'll see if Blinn College can match that. We do play overtime, so if Blinn manages to full capture as well, we will go into an overtime game. We see Sasquatch on the Reinhardt, not something we see too often. Does get antied very early here, also stuck in a May wall. Very unfortunate situation to be in, but obviously Ryan, you just have that big shield, not much damage can be done with it. Does manage to pin the Sigma, doesn't manage to get the follow-up with a kill though. Again, very low between the sleep and the May freeze. It's just a very rough spot to be put in. And that will does leave Colorado Mesa without a tank to hold. Obviously a very hard thing to do with you know, when they have a tank and also a lot closer spawn points, is going to be a nightmare to get back on point on time as a Reinhardt. We do also see Ghost went down to the Sombra here, another new character we haven't quite seen from Blinn yet. Sasquatch does turn around, manage to get the kill on the Sombra, does get stunned by the, I believe, Sigma rock there wasn't. Well, right now he's just kind of held back in point. Blinn did manage to capture the control point of the map, getting it to the hybrid. Again, great times from both teams so far. Blinn managing to have around 5 minutes and 14 seconds on the clock to continue to push. And we see a DPS trade 1-for-1, Sasquatch getting a kill on the Mei, the Haddle Aurora going down to that Sombra, Sasquatch going down to the Juno, and that will be kind of just that team fight. Sorry, that will be kind of just that team fight. Ghost accidentally sliding up into the Sombra, having to back off that height because of her in there, and that Blinn does have a lot of time on the clock currently. You know, 4 minutes to hold when they're already very close to the next checkpoint. It's a rough fight to do, and I will see if Colorado Mesa manages to pull it off. You see the orbital array does go out here. That will allow Colorado Mesa to push up quite a bit. We see the freeze though from Blinn, managing to kill Sasquatch. Unfortunately, Tank is just such a vital character that after that everything just kind of falls. We see Juno going down, the Juno from Blinn's side getting the Torbjorn turret, and it's going to be very hard for Colorado Mesa to come back to this. Blinn does manage to capture the point, having 5 minutes on the clock, very similar position to what CMU was in during their point of this map push. And that will probably bring us to a 3v3 tie, like I was mentioning earlier. We see the Mei going down here, or Mei getting the Torbjorn turret from Haddle Aurora. Probably just trying to hold here. We see a swap onto the Ramatra. I think he's been on Ramatra for a little bit now, but Ghost getting a very nice 3k on Blinn's main team with his ult, getting Mei, Ana, and Sigma down, getting another kill on the Juno soon after. Haddle Aurora getting a pick as well. Some people were distracted with the back line with that Sombra, but Ghost just managed to clear out the front line while that Sombra was doing things, and that gives Colorado Mesa a great spot to be able to hold. So next fight breaking out here with the Ramatra pushing into point. The Sigma we see got very, very low there. A scary situation to be in. I think we said on stream quite a bit of times, we'd rather take a tank for basically anything. And we obviously said here that Sigma taking so much damage. The support's trying hard to keep him up. We do see the ult coming out from Sasquatch, Ramatra Annihilation. Looks like that poor Mei's getting stuck in it by herself. Ana trying to fight it. And he does get taken out here, dying to the Juno by the end of it. Ghost did get the pick on the Ashe, but the rest of his team just got wiped there. Both supports going down. There's not much you can do when you're in that situation. Obviously supports are so vital to the team. It's a very hard fight to be in. You see Haddle just trying to hold, dealing some damage on the Sigma, leading into the next big fight as Blinn finally gets some kind of push in this little corner alley or whatever you want to call it. The Sigma flex in the backline, I didn't even notice that. I don't think most of Colorado Mesa did either. The ammo field does go out to try to help it. Sasquatch going down, dying to the Mei there. Haddle Aurora following soon after, and that does look like it might be cap here as Order 16 also goes down. Wolfie trying to touch. There is some contest with Ghost, but unfortunately this just doesn't look like it's going to be enough, and that will allow Blinn to cap with 2 minutes 30 seconds left on the clock, bringing us to overtime. Each team, as we'll see here, will get, I believe, a little extra time on the clock. Oh, sorry, gets rid of some time on the clock. Both having 2 minutes and Blinn having an extra 30 seconds on top of that 2 minutes to try to push here. And then we see the first fight breaking out for this point. Sasquatch getting a very nice 2k on the ball again on both supports. Sigma very low here, possibly about to go down dying to this damage boosted Mercy. Yeah, Sigma going down to Ghost, Sasquatch going down to Sombra, and that will give CMU a lot of time to capture. I don't think all of Blinn is going to manage to come back in time to try to contest this hold, and that will allow CMU to cap again. They have around 40 seconds left on the clock to make it as far as they can. There is overtime in this game mode, so if they hit overtime, they'll be able to continue to be allowed to push it until basically however far they can. but obviously overtime is a lot more of a sketchy situation versus the time limit on the clock. And we don't see a lot of people on the cart actually. Wolfie does go down there, dying to the Sigma, goes dying to the Junkrat. It's going to be a very tough situation for Colorado Mesa to come back from. They don't have a lot of time on the clock, and both two very vital players on their team are down. And we see Blinn doing a lot to retake here. That Sigma pushing up very far forward. Aurora trying to get some of that damage on the Sigma off. Ghost going down again to the May headshot. Wolfie does get the revive off. However, May's freeze is very hard to play against in that small choke, getting both Cattle Aurora and Order 16. CMU doesn't manage to cap in time as Sasquatch is doing other things, I suppose. And that will bring us to the final point on King's Row. If Blinn manages to meet that distance within the time they are given, they will win this first map, or win the second map of King's Row, and that will bring us to at minimum a 4-game recap. So we see a nice fight here with Sasquatch on D.Va instead for defense. Last time we saw the Reinhardt. Maybe they think the D.Va is going to be a little bit of a better play here. Already having to back out. Aurora does go down here very early, dying to that Ramattra. Watching the D.Va is a bit of a rough match. I don't really know how it plays into, honestly. Probably not the greatest. We saw, I think, the Sojourn Ball going on the Ramattra there. CMU did get a pick, Wolfie did get the revive on Aurora, and that will bring both teams up to full damage. Goes managing to get the kill on the Juno, leaving this Ramattra in a very sticky situation. Does go down. Ana also getting picked off here. May and Ash following pretty soon after. CMU managing to get a team kill. That leaves Blinn with only around a minute 30 left on the clock to push. We see D.Va setting up on that high ground again. It's very hard to push into. Obviously, King's Row is known as a sniper map, but it also works for the tank that want to play high ground. We see Ana sleep is a bit unfortunate as it's gonna pop up. They're gonna have a lot of time to jump onto him. But he is gonna go after the Ash. Does not manage to get the pick quite yet. The Ana doing a lot of work here. But so does Aurora, getting the pick on the May and the Ramattra, who just pushed past the D.Va. Does go down very low here, as a lot of the healing is focused on D.Va trying to keep her up and alive here. Blinn will only have 50 seconds left on the clock to try to push this last bit, and obviously not possible, still very hard to do. We see the 1v1 D.Va versus Ana. She does get demagged, Ana goes down, it's alright. Possibly a squish? Not quite. Ghost does go down right before that Ana did dive. We see it's interesting that Sasquatch is still just pushing forward, annoying that backline, leaving his team to deal with anyone who manages to get past him on point. Wolfie with the Mercy block going out. Aurora, I don't know if he realizes there was a May freeze there. I'm not quite sure. Ray from Juno does go out. Obviously a very, very strong ult, even despite the nerfs. There's May freeze. I was incorrect last time when I said that there was one. Sasquatch going on point to try to contest a little bit. Aurora does go down though, and Blinn is getting further on the cap point as Sasquatch is just ignoring them on the backline there. Not quite sure what the game plan is, probably just not to die, which obviously does get demagged here in a very tough situation. And that probably will allow Blinn to capture. They need to get the payload in a very short distance to be able to win this map. Colorado Mesa really needs to push up here and push up quickly, or else they are going to lose this map. You know, they are on overtime though, so if they manage to kill all of Blinn, they are not winning this. But Haddle is just stuck in this choke. He has to be able to get out and try to touch it. The May wall limiting them. He barely manages to get on point in time. The Orbital Ray from Juno coming out, and no one was really there to follow up with him, and that will be the round of King's Row going to Blinn College, bringing it to 1-1. And our next map is Sarasa. Flashpoint is not CMU's biggest fan. Or should I say vice versa. But we'll see how it ends up working out. We see the Junker Queen gameplay, a pretty classic pick on Sarasa, at least from what I've seen. The May is a very early pick here. Great job from Colorado Mesa managing to get that, you know, that DPS, managing to push Blinn back a little bit. We'll see how it ends up working out in the long haul as Blinn regroups and is going to push a second time over. We see that Life Weaver out again, obviously a very strong, not too meta of a pick, but in my opinion a pretty strong one. Junker Queen going in with Shout, dealing a lot of damage to that backline. That Life Weaver going down very early here. Zarya following soon after. Ghost does get killed in the process, but it looks like Colorado Mesa manages to clean up, getting the final picks on the Mei and the Juno, leaving that Torbjorn to live possibly. We'll see if Haddle gets the pick or if he's going to back out. Looks like backing out is going to be our option here. Not much happened between then and now. We go to when Blinn managed to recapture, actually, right as Colorado Mesa hit 96%, and they are currently at around 40. So quite a big jump, probably just not a lot of great fights happening in between. We'll see this next big push. We do see Torbjorn ult going out from Blinn. Possibly seeing the Jungle Queen one in this moment? Not quite sure. No, we're seeing instead Jungle Queen going down. We do see the Juno ult coming out from CMU, but I don't know how much value it's gonna get with just not having that tank to push. We also see Mayfreeze going out, Haddle Aurora getting stuck in it. You saw Wolfie there trying to help him, doesn't quite manage it, and that first point does go to Blinn. A very unfortunate loss for Colorado Mesa when they were so close. We do see a Somber EMP going out. Ghost does die in the process of EMPing there, but it gets them a lot of value as the Kiriko, Orisa, and Juno all go down. It is basically just the DPS left. Mei goes down, Torbjorn goes down, and that will allow CMU to capture. Obviously, though, we did see the setup, the first map, where CMU had a very early good fight, managed to capture, but Blinn managed to pull it back at the end. We will see if they can do that again here, or if Colorado Mesa can manage to hold this point for a bit longer than last time. Obviously, we do also have the Jungle Queen ult, which it will be very good in this tight corridor little space that we have. Possibly going in here. The Orisa going in. We saw the little scoreboard there. Does get caught on a wall. Very unfortunate with that ult, but doesn't matter. It still gets its value getting both the Juno and the Torbjorn. We did see Oral Ray going out from Blinn's side. Doesn't seem to get much value, but Sasquatch does go down after Ghost manages to kill the Mei and the Kiriko, and that was just the Orisa on point. She also went down soon after. And we see the Kiriko ult coming out from Colorado Mesa on this next point. Colorado Mesa did manage to cap last point, so that will bring us to a minimum of a 4-map game for Zavasa. But we do see Blinn is currently in control of the map for this section at least. Mei managed to get 2 kills on Ghost and Ghost and Owen. Haddle Aurora getting a pick on the Kiriko, but unfortunately just gets cleared out by the rest of the team. But we do see Colorado Mesa does have a couple ults that they can use here. Wouldn't be a bad spot to, drop both DPS ults, call it a day, try to get some of that damage out. But you do also have Zarya, or not Zarya, they're not playing Zarya. It doesn't matter, what am I talking about? So we're gonna see Temple push in here as Blinn hits around 65% overall charge on point. We see the ult pop from a lot of the teams. Haddle Aurora managing to get a pick with Juno on Juno with Excavation, and another one on the Kiriko. Sasquatch getting a pick on Torbjorn, and we also saw Ghost pop Railgun there getting the pick on the Orisa. Haddle getting the follow-up on the Mei, and that will be a team kill from Colorado Mesa and allowing them to capture, bringing the current score, getting them to have some getting point charge as Blinn hits 94, currently at 34 for CMU when their next fight, at least that we thought, broke out. We see the pick on the Mei very early here, another one on the Kiriko, and possibly the Juno. Yeah, Juno does go down. And it's up to the Torbjorn Orisa. Torbjorn does go down, so does the Orisa to Ghost earlier on, and that'll be another fight for Colorado Mesa, bringing it currently to 85 versus 94. We see the Orbital Ray going out versus the Kiriko Kitsune. We also saw Horse Spin, but that will be a lot of damage going to Colorado Mesa. Both DPS and the Kiriko dying here. It will be just up to Sasquatch and Wolfie to try to hold, and it looks like they're just going to back off instead, allowing Blinn to capture the point again. And Blinn also getting point first capture on Fountain, I believe this is called. Possibly, maybe Gardens. This is Gardens, I think. I think the Mei goes down here. Possibly Horse very soon after, depending. Horse does go down, dying to the Ghost ult. I didn't even realize he ulted there. We also saw Kiriko Kitsune going out. Torbjorn also ulting. I don't know quite what this is called. Haddle getting the pick on the Torbjorn, allowing CMU to get the recapture. Blinn did get around 42% on the point. That's not bad at all. Colorado Mesa though matching it very quickly, and we see a great ult from Sasquatch, managing to get everyone down in that hallway. But Kiriko also with an amazing Kitsune, getting literally everyone antied. We see a lot of trades right now. Hadal, Aurora, and Sasquatch going down, but Mei and Torbjorn going down from Blinn. But it's just up to 2 supports and a DPS right now versus a tank, a support, and a DPS for Blinn. So it's a very rough situation to play into. Obviously tanks are such a vital point, and so are supports. I would not to say DPS are expendable, absolutely not. They also are very important in terms of gameplay wise. But there is just more priorities on the team, at least in certain situations. We do see the Kitsune coming out, as well as the Mei freeze. Ghost going down to the Orisa in the process. Sasquatch going down as well. Very unfortunate part to play in. Hadal, Aurora dying to that Mei. I believe in the backline, Wolfie dying when Owen had to peek out. And then we'll just be up to him to try to touch. Unfortunately, he's not able to. And then we'll bring the second point of Servasa going to Blinn. Colorado Mesa needs to be able to win this next push map, or that will be Blinn winning this part of the bracket, giving them another, and it'll give them another point towards making playoffs and putting Colorado Mesa in a bit of a worse situation to push in. Sorry, we have a lot of players in the arena right now. If you hear them in the background, please don't mind them. It's a very active club and it's hard to find a quiet spot to record. We see here, unfortunately, CMU losing that first fight. It's a rough situation to be in. Ghost on the Tracer doing an interesting job in the backline. Not quite sure what's happening here. Getting very low. Trying to follow the Winston and probably isn't quite able to. We see the swap onto the Reaper, but also going very low there. Currently there's around 8 minutes on the clock. Well, and Blinn already has it at 66 meters overall. So it's going to be a bit of a rough situation to be in. We see Wolfie putting in a lot of effort to save Ghost here. Actually is not quite able to, and Ghost does go down. However, Sasquatch does manage to get the pick on the Juno in the backline. And Wolfie getting the res off on Ghost. Overall just not mattering quite too much. Mei also going down, and that leads us into the next little fight here. Sasquatch just being annoying off for this 4-4 Juno, getting dope again. She is very low here, possibly going down, not quite. Sasquatch dying to the Juno, however, Hadal Aurora with the soldier aimbot ult, managing to get both Ana and Juno. Wolfie getting the res off on Winston. Kiriko ult does go out from order, but the Mei freeze basically fully counteracts that. There is someone that got frozen, however the Suzu was managed to save them. Into the next fight here, as we see the Torbjorn ult pop, unfortunately taking out order. Sasquatch going in to try to reclaim that bot, and they are very close to matching Blinn's record, but not quite managing to get all the way. The next fight, as Blinn is approaching back onto Colorado Mesa side, we see Grab go out, but both Primal and Death Blossom popping to try to contest that. Ghost did manage to get 1 kill using Death Blossom. We see Sasquatch getting very low here using Primal. We'll see how the next fight goes. We see the Orbital Ray popping out here. Sasquatch trying to jump on here. Unfortunately, he's getting stuck in the backlines quite a bit. It will be a very rough situation to get out of. Does not quite manage. Gets anti, then it's kind of just all she wrote from there. Bringing us to the next part where Blinn is at 67 meters, sorry. Order 16 is getting the pick on Juno and on Ana. The Mei also going down here to Sasquatch. Unfortunately, Hadal Aurora goes down to the Zarya, Ghost getting the Torbjorn. It is just that Zarya left. Zarya does go down, and that will allow Colorado Mesa to recapture and push again. There are currently 3 minutes on the clock. Colorado Mesa has to get around another 10 meters to match a little bit more to win. We'll see if they manage to do it, or if this game will go to Blinn College. Order 16 getting the Torbjorn turret out. We see the Mei block going out. Mei with her perk does allow to slow people down who are in that block radius. That combined with the Torbjorn ult could have been very deadly, but Colorado Mesa manages to deal with it. Ghost popping Death Blossom, getting a pick. Hadal Aurora getting a pick on the Mei. Ghost does go down here, but gets revived by Wolfie. Sasquatch getting the pick on the enemy Juno. Junker King falling down soon after. Ana also going down, and that will be a team fight win for Colorado Mesa. Not quite a team kill. We see Colorado Mesa does manage to get more progress on the on push. That will put them in the lead with around 3 minutes left. And if they manage to win this, we're gonna see our final map of Escorts. We'll see if that ends up working out or not. We see the Soldier Visor pop, not quite getting a kill yet. Hadalora does manage to get 2 though in the end, dying to the getting the Drunk Queen and the NACE. Sasquatch also popping Primal Rage, getting the Torbjorn with it. Sasquatch and basically Spawn Doors getting that Juno as well. It was gonna be very hard for Blinn to push out of here with both of the tank and DPSs very close to that spawn door, and we see them attempting to push forward here. Obviously if Colorado Mesa reaches the very end, they do win. We see Orbital Ray going out, basically everything popping to try to prevent this capture right at the end, and it does seem to work. Hadalora and Sasquatch going down, but Sasquatch does get revived by Wolfie right before she dies to the Torbjorn turret, but it looks like Sasquatch is just going to back out instead. Smarter idea when, you know, all of his team is unfortunately dead. So this will be the next fight to recapture. Colorado Mesa has a minute left to try to hold here. We do see Kitsune coming up from Order 16, allowing Colorado Mesa to push in fast and strong. This Ana very low here, getting caught out by Sasquatch. Does have to back out, obviously it's just, you know, wasn't worth trying to fight that. We see both Junker Queen Rampage going out, and I thought it was May Freeze for a second, but it's just the Ice Block perk. There is Freeze now though. Ghost does pop Death Blossom, managing to get a pick on the May. However, Ana getting the pick on Ghosts pretty soon after. We'll see if Colorado Mesa will continue to push there. There are 40 seconds left on the clock. They can just hold instead of pushing. Obviously they are in the advantage spot right now. They see the Torbjorn lava or ult lava, whatever you want to call it, going out, allowing Blinn to push in a lot closer now. And we have the rest of Colorado Mesa basically just holding out here, ready for the next fight. There's 30 seconds left on the clock. Enough time for maybe 1 or 2 more team fights. We see Valk does go out from CMU as well as Primal Rage. Wolfie putting in a lot of effort to keep the Winston up as he got incredibly low there. Visor dropping from Soldier, Ghost getting a pick on the Juno, and that looks like that might be the final moments of this fight as the Drunken Queen goes down. 3 seconds left on the clock, not pushing the robot, or still pushing the robot, I guess. Either way, it doesn't really matter. That will be the victory for Colorado Mesa. And that and that will bring us to the final map of Route 66. We see the first push on Hazard here. Push onto high point to try to contest this Ramacha. Obviously high ground is such a strong thing in general. You want to have control of it. Torbjorn turret goes down. Ramacha very low here, possibly falling soon after. Not quite though. Colorado Mesa has yet to really push it, but that could just be a part of it. Obviously if they're just pushing Blinn back, that gives them a lot of time to play their own game, push as they want. We see Ghost going down pretty early here on Torbjorn. Again to a Torbjorn, sorry, playing Tracer, dying to a Torbjorn. Torbjorn also killing Hadal Aurora there, that's both DPSs going down. Order 16 does get the pick on the tank though, very impressive from him on Juno. And we do see how Sasquatch is still trying to just hold space here, trying to push up. Torbjorn getting an early pick on Wolfie on Ana though, that will be a support down, much harder to push into. They should be fine in theory. We see Sasquatch here trying to dive these supports. They have not had a moment to breathe with him in the game. But you know, the DPS aren't seeming to get too much work here done. Hadal anytime just seems to not quite manage to follow up. Just might just get stuck out, poked out, whatever it may be. But we're seeing not a lot of progress on the cart here, not a lot of kills either. But a lot more for Blinn than Colorado Mesa has on the board. We see him going for that Life Weaver, does manage to get the kill on the Life Weaver. This could be the lead Colorado Mesa needs to be able to try to follow up here. Ghost does go down, however they manage to get the kill on the Juno as well as the Torbjorn. Unfortunately though, Sasquatch also goes down to the Ramacha, but it looks like they're still at least pushing forward here. Possibly getting the Ramacha, not quite as he's going into Pummel, but it looks like he will fall anyways. That will give a 5-player streak to Lucas, and allows them to keep pushing. Ooh, they did manage to cap between last time and here. They have 30 seconds left on the clock to continue to push as much as they can. Not quite going in yet. Seeing the fight break out, a little bit of a rough situation to be in. We see the Torbjorn ult drop on the backline there, Order getting very low because of it. Not quite managing to get a kill though. Ghost on Sojourn also very, very low. does manage to get both DPSs though, Sasquatch going down there, and that will bring us to the final push on Route 66 here. It's a similar process to what worked on King's Row. If both teams manage to full capture, it'll bring us to overtime. If one team gets further than the other, then they win. We see Order going down pretty early in this fight here. We'll see how it ends up working out for them. I think we did see Overload Ray going down from the enemy team's Juno, from Blinn's Juno. We'll see how it keeps working out here. CMU is just kind of pushed back in this chokehold, but it looks like Sasquatch is going to go in. Ghost following after him, just getting a lot of that poke damage out, but Ghost does have to back out, gunning down, unfortunately dying there. But we see Juno Ray and Soldier Visor both popping, getting a nice 2k. Sasquatch following up, getting the kill on the Torbjorn, and that will allow CMU a pretty much clean final push onto Route here. They have the final section to push up, but we also see a lot of ults that they have on the board. We can use a Hazard ult, we can use probably a Sojourn ult, possibly Nano. I'm not quite sure exactly what is here. Order very, very low though. We see Tree going out from Blinn. You know, not a great time to ult here. Does ult anyways, not managing to capture anyone quite yet. Does go down there. Hadalora also dying in the process. Order dying to the Sojourn rail. And that will be overtime. They need to be able to hold there. Wolfie trying to pull up but not quite able to. And that will be the first round complete. CMU not managing to capture fully quite yet, but getting very close to the end. It will just be up to Blinn to hold here, to CMU to hold if they want this win. And Blinn is currently Ramatra going down here early to Order. Torbjorn following soon after, dying to Sasquatch on Manga? I believe that's how I say it. Ghost getting the trade on the Mirror Sojourn. They have 3 minutes left to try to push here. Wolfie does go down here, so does Sasquatch. That will put them in a very rough situation to play on. Lifeweaver also going down, though. Lifeweaver and Sojourn from Blinn going down. Oh, we do see a lot of people from CMU following soon after. Ghost Order, and I believe that was how at the end all dying, allowing them to push up a lot further here. We see Sasquatch on the high ground getting pocketed by Wolfie, trying to do some of the damage, probably try to prevent this push as much as they can. Sojourn getting very low there, but getting pulled out by the Lifeweaver. Sasquatch deciding to go in, doing a lot of damage to the Sigma, possibly going down. The Sigma does. We do see Hadalora also died in the process. The Kiriko ult coming out from Order. Torbjorn on point, very low, does end up going down. That gives CMU a lot better of a point to hold here. We see Cage go out, as well as Orbital Ray, as well as Tree and the Excavation from Hadal. That is a lot of ults going out at once. Sasquatch does end up dying there, but they get the trade on the enemy Sigma. Both tanks down, as well as a DPS from both teams going down, but Wolfie manages to get the revive on Sasquatch, bringing him back into the fight as the Torbjorn pops lava. Torbjorn ends up going down here, and that gives Blinn 40 seconds left on the clock to push or hit it to overtime. This is a very rough situation to be in for them. Obviously, they have to bring it to 3 points to try to match, and it doesn't look like that's going to be possible quite yet. We see the final pushes here going off. The revive. Just a lot of things happening at once. This will be the final push as it does hit overtime, and we'll see if CMU manages to continue to hold there. Revive on Sasquatch, unfortunately not quite going off. Wolfie dying there, Ghost also going down in the process. But the full team is back, being able to contest right as they get to the end of the, at least this checkpoint. We see the Cage pop as well as Orbit, Kitsune coming out, basically every ult possible in the board going out. Sasquatch going down, Howl going down, Ghost going down, or not going down, sorry, getting kills. And that will be today's recap. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.